Good morning. You're listening to Kingston Community Radio, airing on FM 92.5 and AM 920 WGHQ in Kingston, New York. This programming is brought to you by our listeners and corporate underwriters who are interested in presenting local community radio. The opinions expressed on this program do not represent those of Pamel Broadcasting or Kingston Community Radio. Listeners are encouraged to send in $10 per month to help bring this program to you. Mail your contributions to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. For more information or to donate online, visit our website at mykcr.org. Good morning, and this is Dan Gatis, and thank you for being with us this morning and tuning in. It's Tuesday, April 12th, and starting out at 51 degrees right now as we wake up. Have a great cup of coffee, and we'll be right back after these messages.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Shirley Stabe from Kingston, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And you're here with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. And, of course, this is talk radio, so talk. Call in. 331-9255 is your number. We would love to hear from you. Rain showers this morning with mostly sunny conditions during the afternoon hours with a high of 71. And tonight, going down to 39. This is getting to be, more late spring weather. We may be over with the freezing nights. Partly cloudy on Tuesday night. Wednesday, 71 degrees. Considerable clouds early and then some decrease in clouds later in the day with a high of 71 on Wednesday. So we'll be having some sun peeking in on Wednesday. Wednesday night, rain showers with overcast skies late with a low around 55. And there's about a 40% chance of rain on Wednesday night. Thursday, partly cloudy with afternoon showers, a 40% chance of those showers or thunderstorms and maybe some gusty winds. And that's going to be a high of 79 Thursday. And Thursday night, 43 degrees is our low. Chance of a shower, it's about a 50% chance of a shower or two during the evening, followed by partly cloudy skies late with a low of 43 on Thursday. And you are listening to KCR, and this is a terrific Tuesday. And we have some bright-eyed and bushy-tailed people in the on-air studio. Hi, Nina. Hi, Cam. How are you?
I am well, thank you. You know, want to hear something really weird coincidence?
Sure.
Good morning, listeners. Terrific Tuesday.
Yes.
I was, for some reason, I don't know, yesterday morning I woke up with the little ditty in my head. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail.
That's seasonal.
That would be this time of year, right?
Every girl and boy, baskets full. I woke up. I know why. I just remember why. Because the evening before, I talked to my mom about Easter plans.
Okay.
So yesterday morning, I woke up and I'm driving to work, and I was listening to Dr. Stamberg yesterday, and you went to commercial break, so I started surfing a dial, and that song was on.
You're kidding.
No, I'm like, oh my gosh, and it was only on for like a few stanzas.
Oh, really? Not the whole song?
Whatever,
yeah.
And it broke into the Woodstock radio station.
Oh, isn't that
It was
funny?
like they had like played it as part of his segment or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, what a weird freaking coincidence, huh?
It really is.
Yeah.
Because that's not
I
something
mean-
that's popular or you hear on the radio
No,
all the time.
I remember that song from George Washington's music class. I used to sing along. And
Of
Miss
course,
Gilbert.
yeah, we used to sing that in elementary
Yeah,
school.
Mrs. Gilbert, I remember. And whatever, but it's just a weird
That
coincidence.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of that song in decades,
Yeah.
I think.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But that's,
There it goes.
Yeah, one of those weird things. So Easter's coming up.
Yes, Easter's Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
Any big plans?
Yes. No, we'll do
Your
Easter at our
house?
house. Yeah. How about you? You go to your parents?
Go to my
or-
mom's, yep.
Yeah.
We've rotated it in the past, but she
Yes.
volunteered, so I said, heck yeah.
Hey,
I'm
that's
bringing
okay.
a potato dish.
All right, there you
No,
go.
I offered up scalloped, but I don't know. I want to look on the internet. What's your favorite potato dish? You have one?
What is my favorite potato dish?
Like fancy, not just mashed.
Not just like mashed potatoes. That's a tough question. I do
had
love
those
scallop. If you're going to do ham.
Those party potatoes. Have you?
Yeah, they're
cream
very good,
cheese, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Those
Nice
are really
zingy potato salad, German style.
Ooh, German potato
Yes.
good. That might be.
salad. That could
it.
be
And it
next
could
level.
be warm. You could put something on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely make it warm.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the bacon and the vinegar.
There
and
you go.
sugar. Mm.
Maybe
That
bacon on
sounds
top.
good.
All right,
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, if you're listening,
that
anyone listening, this is a
is-
call-in show.
happens to usually be my favorite potato. If it isn't fries.
German potato.
German potato
All
salad.
right, that might be it. Any
We're going to have
listeners?
to wait till next Tuesday to find out.
Because well, actually, we have an hour and a half of airtime today,
We
Nina.
do, Cameron.
Unfortunately,
The
Dan
poor
Whalen.
listeners out there.
Dan Whalen is unavailable.
Yes.
Carl Brown is unavailable, and poor Sue Copenhaver. Please, I hope
Be
you're
here
coming
for
in.
the Office of Aging
I
at
hope you're coming
8:30.
in.
So-
So it's a call-in show. So 331-9255.
Yes.
Any Easter feedback or menu suggestions are welcomed. Give us a call. Share some traditions.
Yeah, we do Easter brunch at our house, and we always do one of the staples is pierogies and kielbasa.
Ah, there you
so
go.
we get the kielbasa at and the pierogies out in Cohonson.
Yeah, Elena's.
Elena's,
Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's the real kielbasa.
So Dwayne's
No,
Friday
no.
morning noontime, he will be there to pick up our.
Does he have a
pierogies.
reservation?
Well, I
they
called.
take reservations?
Well, you know what? I called last Saturday because I wanted to put an order in, and she said you have to call 2 to 3 weeks in advance for holiday orders. But she said if you get there first come first serve, noontime 12 to 5 she's open. And she said you can get up to 4 dozen. So the only thing you can't do is if you
Well, you
want
better be online at 11.
Yeah, I know.
Serious. But this year, particularly with the the
Yeah,
events
with
in
Ukraine.
Europe, and people may be celebrating their heritage more.
Right.
Our family's Polish, so it's very similar food and stuff.
Yes,
Beautiful, yes,
absolutely. Yeah. So and
We're
you
right
know
next door.
Yeah, I mean,
Slovakia.
before that stripe was drawn on the map, it was one common culture. You know,
Absolutely.
they shared language and food and clothing and
Absolutely, all the way from southern Russia, Ukraine, and
Yeah.
Poland, and
Same
Slovakia
as the Alps.
too. Slovakia.
similar to the Alps.
Yeah.
It's just territorial lines were drawn. Like the culture was the culture.
Right. It's probably a horrible thing to say, but I really didn't understand the whole geography of the Ukraine until all of this occurred, and and how all those countries are really interspersed within one another, and the whole theory about the southern ports and so forth. It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, back to happier topics.
Easter, yeah.
Easter, but they say that pierogies. There's a pierogi place in Kingston.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows, please call 331-9255.
Some time ago, a few weeks, I saw something on the internet about it. It was
Yes,
like a
me too.
Facebook thing or.
I thought, Facebook. That's what
Yeah,
I
it's
saw.
a company that moved here from like Connecticut or something like that, or I don't
Just
know.
Curious. I'd like to try it, but
Yeah.
I didn't.
I mean, I don't want to
couldn't
take
really find
business
too much
away
about it.
from Elena's,
No.
but something a little closer.
Yes, I was just gonna say something a little more convenient would be perfect. So busy week for people. School break. A lot of people are on school break this week, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, school break.
My
Yeah,
sister
absolutely.
was away with her son golfing. She brought her.
Where did they go?
Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head. Myrtle
Head.
Beach, I think.
Oh, I
Somewhere.
love
Yeah,
Hilton.
Carolinas, I believe.
Yeah.
I
That's
should
great.
know, but I don't. Yeah, her son Vlad, avid golfer, and I think he brought a buddy, and they went down because there's a ton of courses down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The
Absolutely.
one you were talking about was Helena?
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, the one in Kerhonkson.
Oh, Elena's, yeah.
Yeah.
Helena's.
Helena's, Elena, yeah.
Helena's. Yeah.
Okay. That shows up too. But Krupa Brothers Pierogi Company.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
I
it.
got that on the map, and whew, I'm seeing some pictures. Yeah, Krupp. Now let's see. Where
Where are they located,
West
Dan?
Strand.
West Strand.
Yeah, let me see. Getting some good stuff here. Let's see what
That's
that
good.
says.
So that's easy and convenient.
Yeah,
right?
23 West Strand in Kingston. So it's downtown.
Wow. Huh.
Yep, Krupa Brothers.
Is there a phone number
Krupa
there?
Brothers. Sure is. Let's see. Not on that particular.
Give them a call.
Yeah,
That'd
we
be,
could find out.
Easier than
what theirs
driving
are
down
like.
to.
Kerhonkson.
Yeah.
And try something
That is
a little
definitely
different.
the one, I guess.
Well, how about the
Yeah, Helena is the one in Kerhonkson.
the rain? Did your basement flood?
Mine did not. My mother's did, though.
Yeah, well, everybody's did.
Yeah.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, a good friend of mine had the fire department there all like 2 days.
Ooh,
Yeah,
bad.
pumped it. Yeah, yeah, like
I'm not. I'm not. That's not listed where I'm looking.
Phone
right
number,
now.
what? 23 West Strand.
23 West Strand.
Drive by.
Krupa, Krupa Brothers.
Like Gene
for
Krupa.
Pierogies.
Gene Krupa,
Yes,
yeah.
same like that. Yeah.
That's cool.
all right. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah,
the rain was terrible, right?
Luckily, I was nothing on Fair Street, but man, it was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of
Work,
flooding.
you know, my flooding at my work and all over the
yeah,
place.
they right. They closed schools and
Yeah.
the roads. And
The roads from Kingston to New Paltz were way closed.
Oh yeah,
They were way.
yeah.
closed.
Libertyville Road was totally flooded. I heard.
Surprisingly so. I mean, I know it rained and it rained really hard, and then that evening it rained.
Yeah,
and thunder
but
and
there's
lightning,
still
but-
puddles like yesterday, like standing puddles in places I've never seen puddles before. Honestly,
Interesting, yeah.
yeah.
I'm surprised how the Esopus and Rondout actually handled all of that water. I am surprised. It never really reached
Yeah.
anything anywhere near, even the Esopus above the Ashokan Reservoir.
Some smaller tributaries and stuff flooded, like little streams and stuff.
yeah,
so.
but
but
the
it-
Esopus and Rondout handled it.
Yeah,
It was
but
pretty
part of
amazing.
that may have been. Well, no, that wouldn't affect the Esopus because the waterfall. But the Rondout too. I was saying the tide, outgoing tide may have helped, but there's water, so that would have flooded upstream beyond the effect of tide. So my point is moot. So never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, but down in the Rondout, there
Don't-
was
Yeah.
never.
Don't listen to me.
Never
Don't
any-
listen to Cameron right now.
No, downtown it would have helped. You know.
Yeah, super low-lying areas did get hit.
Yeah.
You know, even along the creeks, but you know, the Rondout took it.
Took it like a river.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, Senator
Took it in the chin.
Senator Schumer was here just recently, right? And they're going to invest like $100,000 with Army Corps of Engineers to the bulkhead.
Examine
there.
the study of the bulkhead. Yeah, good. It
Yeah,
needs
which
it
is good, yeah,
bad.
yes,
and that's the
absolutely.
key to our waterfront.
Right. Yeah.
There is no waterfront without a bulkhead because stuff can't just crumble into the creek and disappear.
We all remember.
And the cost, the city of Kingston couldn't afford to replace that bulkhead.
No, no.
Geez, nor could any business or the Maritime Museum. And you can't do it piecemeal. You can't fix my piece of the bulkhead.
No, it has to be the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's viable the whole way.
And you
so.
need, like the Army Corps of Engineers to look at the engineering design and decide what needs to
Yes,
be done
yeah.
and so forth. So that's a very huge positive.
And and the regulatory, even if the federal government does come to do it, like the regulatory hurdles,
Right, that's true,
you
too.
just can't do because of
It's just,
PCB and pollution, and there's utilities there and underground, the
Right.
gas line, right? There's a gas line, there's electric lines, probably water and sewer lines too. Who knows? But
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a positive though, because I remember with the
Absolutely.
hurricanes, I remember Mariners, Butch Guido had at the time, just like totally devastated
yeah,
with
it
water.
filled the basement.
Yeah.
All those,
those-
everything,
everything there.
Billy's Brook Room and all the places.
Yeah. Yep. So we're glad to hear that. I just saw that in the paper, and then the mayor had in his newsletter this past week. I also saw in the Freeman, which I, excuse me, I thought was a positive was, if you remember a while back, we talked about Bard College, and they did the air study for the city of Kingston, and they did it from the Andy Murphy Center, and they just got their final results, and we are really quite doing quite well as far as our air quality here, above average. So and they'll continue to monitor throughout the years, and they'll use a lot of the data that they've obtained to compare as the years go on. But I thought that was really speaks volumes for our area and for what we do here and so forth.
Yeah, I saw that article in the paper, but what I don't know. Struck me, I guess you could say, is the another reason the quality of life here.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Exactly. It's like, well, that's cool. Another reason, our water always tests very good, like highest in the state. Sometimes, because
Right.
every year that.
I think Cooper Lake's synonymous to Ashokan.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Mink
It's
Hollow,
a
right?
mountain lake. Yeah.
Doesn't our water start in Mink Hollow? I believe is where the.
Way up in Mink Hollow.
Probably
I
would know
believe,
better.
I think it's Mink Hollow's the beginning of our watershed. It flows into Cooper Lake. But yeah, the air and water, I mean, that's like vital stuff. And,
Yes.
That's the vital signs,
lots of the
right?
parts of the country have neither.
Right.
California, have a crappy air quality and no water. And,
Yeah. Yes. So I thought that study really spoke volumes about our area, and I agree with you.
That should be widely published.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a wonderful.
until the
wonderful
pollen comes out. Then we got crappy air.
Yeah, the
Hay fever,
pollen's
yeah.
hard. Yeah.
study.
Springtime
It is what
pollen.
it is. Yeah, well, we grow what we grow.
Yeah, but that makes,
here.
it's part of the joy, the seasonality.
Absolutely, yeah.
And now the farmers market's open. Did you know that? Have you been up there yet?
Yes, I did. No, I haven't been there, but I knew it
Okay.
was opening because I read it in our local Freeman.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, every
I
other
think
week.
every
though,
other
right
week.
now.
Yeah, until for like another month, I think, until
Right.
May. Then it goes weekly, I believe.
Was
Yes.
in the same article? Was there anything about the downtown?
I
Farmers
didn't
market
read
on
the
the
article. I
Strand?
read the
Wasn't
first.
in it
I read the first paragraph that said it was every other week until some date, and then
for Uptown,
and then I
and
stopped
it'll
reading.
still be in the courthouse parking lot.
Yep,
Good.
Yes.
which is a great place for it.
Yeah, but for us. It's great because with the Person House, we get so much foot traffic into the house, and the exhibitors
And
and the guest hosts take a lot of what they do out onto the lawn and so forth, so that people can really enjoy it.
Yeah,
and
I was
people can
just
interact.
going to say that it ties in the whole block sort of when there's stuff like going on at the Pearson, reenactors or lectures or displays or something. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it really makes
cool.
a huge difference. We open Memorial Day weekend, so maybe in a couple weeks we could talk about all the exciting things that we're doing at the house this year. We're making some changes. We have some new exhibits. We have some new organizations that will be there. So it's exciting.
That's
We'll
cool.
talk about
Good.
that maybe in
Yeah.
a couple weeks when we get closer to opening day,
Yeah.
which will be great. But
Ooh, Memorial Day. I got to think about a float for the
the
Elks
parade.
Lodge. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The parade.
That's
Memorial Day
that's
parade
going
as
on, I
well.
assume.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. Did you get yours? You should talk to Bill about your sign-up sheet because they sent us sign-up sheets.
Oh, is that who's in charge? Bill Forte?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could talk to him when he comes on the radio this month.
Yeah.
About how to get into the parade.
Get the lodge in.
Right.
Give us we need a spot.
Yeah.
I got to think about. I have a buddy, my buddy Anthony Cecilia, Duke's Automotive. I floated it by him a couple weeks ago. Hey, buddy, maybe donate your truck for the float. Public service for the Elks Lodge, and he nodded, but I got to ask him formally.
You have to
So,
get,
yeah.
yes,
Got
yeah.
to get it. Make the formal ask. That'd be
Right.
cool. 'Cause
Absolutely.
normally we do a couple cars and people wave and walk, but if we had like a big old flatbed truck,
That would
like
be,
a
yeah.
real float, we could set up a chair, put a couch on it.
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
relaxing ride up Broadway.
Did you march in the St. Patty's Day parade?
No, I was away.
Oh,
I
you
was
were
in-
away.
I was
That's
in
right.
beautiful,
Did the Elks-
beautiful Bormio,
That's
Italy.
right. Did the Elks march? or
No,
not? Okay. All right. So this will be the first parade of the season.
Yeah, I would have done it with Kiwanis.
Oh, Kiwanis, right.
personally,
Yeah.
I mean, I to my knowledge, I don't think the Elks have had a float not since I've been,
And that's a while.
at least in the St. Patrick's Day parade. We've done Memorial Day pretty much every year,
Right.
but not St. Patrick's.
Yes. So you'll have to start working on that. They'll come before we know it,
I
right?
know.
Yeah, it'll be here.
Lickety split.
Yeah. And the Kingston Cleanup, Queen Sleep, is the first Saturday in May.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyone that's listening, you can contact Friends of Historic Kingston to sign up, or your organization to sign up. It really is. It goes from 9 to 12, and they do a remarkable job. And it's amazing what the cleanup really accomplishes
How much
in that 3 hours, and
stuff,
how much
yeah,
there is
absolutely.
to
All
clean
over
up.
town,
Yes. Uptown, the Broadway
I
corridor.
don't know. I know last year Anna Brett was in charge of it.
Yes, I think she is this year too.
And I just saw her picture in the
for
paper. Yeah, the
Junior
Junior League,
League.
100 years. Right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I remember
Yes.
my mom, I think my sister, my sister was in, my mom and sister were in Junior League years
Back
ago.
in the day,
back
right?
in the day, yeah, as
Yes.
they say.
And I think it's really nice. Alex DeForest is now the president.
Now, is
Mom-
is she related to the DeForest, like the insurance DeForest?
Yes, she's married to.
Whose daughter is that?
So that's Beth Weishaupt and Bill Weishaupt's daughter. So she was, her mom was president of the Junior League.
Oh.
So they're, like you said, generational.
So
Like
she
your
married
mom-
a DeForest? then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Chris, yeah. So I thought it was really nice. The article was great. Junior League's done so much for the community.
Over the years,
And
yeah.
of course, everybody remembers Kinderland and
that's-
Kinderland and what they've done there, and really a great accomplishment. But so much more. The Cinderella Closet.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, the storybook, the little libraries that are all over town, where they're in the little bookcases and so forth. So yeah, congratulations to Alex and the Junior League, and to her mom,
100
Beth.
years.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, and Anna Brett. A lot of people who devoted a lot of
Over the
years to.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Certainly.
And the Kingston Library, what a great success.
The
yes.
Mango Street, yeah.
Mango Street, right?
I didn't know. She didn't. Did they say the author was going to be here when they were on the radio? I don't remember them
I
saying.
don't remember that they said that the author was there, but I've been poring over that book, and it is extraordinarily great.
It's on my.
So easy to read.
Yeah, I flipped through it when I was here, and it's on my count.
Two
I
or
want
three
to read
page
it.
articles. They're 2 or 3 page, very in depth and wonderfully executed stories.
But
And all based
I agree
on
with- I agree with-
on Mango Street, and it is extraordinary.
Where-
you can read it from the back to the front. You can read it from the middle to the end. Every story is independent and by
where
itself.
does it ever say where Mango Street was?
Chicago area.
Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But I do not remember them saying that the author was going to be here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Doing a reading and so I think to me that's like huge. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
you know,
And it seemed like they had a huge turnout, and they had the oral history that the Rear Center worked with the Kingston Library to do. So it seemed like it was a great success, and I'm so happy to hear that. And really brought in the whole community, because they went from corner to corner doing these little skits,
Yep.
venues, different venues. And I thought, what a great idea to really bring the community into the whole event.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, congratulations
Thinking
to
outside
Marjorie
the box,
and
yeah.
staff and everyone that was on.
No, that's powerful. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
If
Yeah.
possible, somehow, just bringing authors in, and I guess thinking outside the box, staying relative or relevant with the library, and thinking of new ways to engage the community, and it's, as I say, it's not your grandfather's library anymore.
No, it's not.
It's I mean, that was a multicultural event.
Absolutely.
Outdoors, it's off property. That's.
Yes, libraries are a community resource center
Yeah.
now, not a library.
Yeah.
They are such a hub of activity and cultural enlightenment.
Yeah, so easy to forget about, I guess, or overlook, and
Yeah, no.
but we've had other guests here, like real estate people, that said, companies look, they look at the local libraries and schools to see what the quality of life is before they relocate and stuff. So
Yeah, and Kingston Library is dynamic, creative. They've engaged the youth, and I have to say, every time they come here and they're on the radio, the resources that are available just keep growing and growing.
you can borrow a shovel and wheelbarrow to start a
Really,
garden,
right? You could,
and a gardening book.
You could tutor your child. You get homework help.
Yeah.
You could take a college course. I mean, the list goes on, and it's amazing. So they do very good work, and
And the network of
very proud of our
libraries.
libraries.
Yes,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
our libraries. The
Yeah.
network of libraries is powerful. The Ulster, the town of Ulster Library is equally as engaged and
Absolutely.
inspired when it comes to programming. Incredible.
That would be a great,
Yeah.
you just made me think of something that would be a great idea to do on the radio is one of the weeks when the Kingston Library is on, bring in like the town of Ulster, town of Esopus, and the Kingston Library together.
Yeah,
and just talk about,
their collaboration.
yes, and things that they
Yeah.
do.
Huge
the
collaboration.
similarities and
Absolutely.
the differences. It would be interesting. We'll have to think about that.
Yeah,
Karen.
they're always comparing notes.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, which would be great.
Yeah, with Fred and Fred Wadnola and I forgot her first name. Cindy Wadnola. They always had
the
the
Ulster
town
Library.
of Ulster
Yeah.
librarian in, just like we do with Kingston Library.
Yeah, they had
and that was always just as engaging.
informative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
believe it.
So in the next half hour, as we said, Dan Whalen for the Boys and Girls Club will not be here. I'm going to have the opportunity, and Cameron can interview me. How about that?
Oh, I sure
We're going
can.
to talk about Donate Life Month here in the county. The county clerks throughout the state have partnered through their DMV with New York State Donate Life, and we're going to talk about some of those initiatives and things that we're doing and ways that you can become an organ donor and really what it means to be an organ donor. So we'll be talking about that in the next half hour, and I'll be a little spokesperson. I'll fill in a little bit for Dan. I'll be a spokesperson for the Boys and Girls Club. So our
The auction was
tremendous.
I heard that.
We raised quite a bit of money. So thank you to the community as a whole, because we did the silent auction online. So many people that didn't attend the auction still had the ability to give to the Boys and Girls Club online through the silent auction. We had over 200 people at the event itself, and the live auction was an amazing success. And Joe B. From Joe B's and Steve Kennedy were the auctioneers, and they did a fantastic job. And it was just a great event and a great night. And, we auctioned off quite a few items, but another thing that was so nice to see, Cameron, is so many people. They started Suzanne Jordan, whose husband Mike was on the board, very supportive, and so in his memory, she actually started the donations, and people matched it, and from $2,500 down, people just gave to the club, not purchasing anything, and it was just nice to see that support.
That's great.
For the Boys and Girls Club. And as we know, right, how many times Dan speaks about everything he does for the kids, a safe environment that's for them, the youth of the year, the programs, the list goes on and on. So it was a great event. So thank you to everyone that made it a success. Thank you for all the participants. And the Chateau did a great job that evening, and we're looking forward to more fundraisers and more
Yeah.
successes
Yeah,
as
that's great.
the year goes on.
Yeah, I got the day after, Friday, I was at happy hour at the Elks Lodge, and heard some people talking about how they got outbid
some items?
on the items that they're a little upset, but they're like, well, it went for a lot more money than I was willing to pay. So, they're good for them, bad for me. So, they were
Happy
not
for
complaining. Yes, they were
but sad for themselves. that
exactly.
They should get
They
the
wanted it, and I know the Maxwells made Giants tickets available. I guess they went.
Yes, thank you to Lawrence. They went for, quite a bit of money,
Yeah.
yes. So thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that. But that's a really good point, Cameron, because not only the people that attend and purchase all these items, but all the people that donate.
Donors, absolutely. Business
Lawrence's
people.
Giants tickets, people who donate their vacation homes.
Services, corporate services.
Yes,
and,
yeah, products from their companies. It's amazing some of the opportunities that available at the auction.
Yeah. Years ago, I got a house in North Carolina
Yeah,
on the Outer Banks for it's like $600 or something. It was like ridiculously cheap.
I know. Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone. It was, and I know Dan was very pleased, and he works very hard. You could tell when he speaks on the radio here, he's just so committed to the
Always
club.
busy.
And
Busy.
yeah, absolutely. So, all right, we're at the bottom of the half hour already, Karen.
Yeah, I tell you, well, we just got to chew up a couple more of these half hours and we'll be on our way to work. We'll be on our way to work. Cool. All right. Dan, take us to break.
Okay, and thank you, Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance. Thank you so much for listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, streaming online at mykcr.org. And it's Tuesday, April 12th, 51 degrees right now. We woke up to a nice jacketless morning, and we'll be right back after these messages.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dina Roy from Hurley, and I support the Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And you're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. And don't forget our number, 331-9255. 331-9255 is your call-in number. Tuesday, April 12th. 51 degrees starting out here in Kingston, and rain showers this morning with mostly sunny conditions during the afternoon hours with a high of 71, and that's an 80% chance of rain today. And 39 degrees is our low for Tuesday night, partly cloudy with no indication of any rain tonight. Wednesday, considerable clouds early, and then some decrease in the clouds later in the day with some sun peeking through. A high of 71 for Wednesday. Wednesday night, rain showers early with overcast skies late, and it's a low of 55. There's a 40% chance of rain Wednesday night. Thursday, about the same, 40% chance of rain, partly cloudy with afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Storms may have some gusty winds. And then Thursday night, we have the same thing, about a 50% chance of showers or two during the evening, and then followed by partly cloudy skies later, low of 43. So we're into the real spring now, April showers. And this upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is being brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office. And again, you're with us here at KCR, and don't forget our number, 331-9255. Let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance.
And we're back.
Oh, we are, and I'm admiring Cameron's son. I don't want to embarrass him, but he's a handsome young man. That's for sure.
He just picked this up yesterday, his suit, and he's tried it on. But that's what he's wearing. His
we'll show it,
his
yes.
graduation. Oh, this one. I got to get up. His graduation is Saturday from Lyman. I can't see.
Yeah, you can see it now.
From Lyman School. And I got to tell you, I got to wait till I get on mic. The last 4 months, he's developed a swagger and a confidence, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's like
that's great. Good for him.
Totally just changed.
Well, and he should. He's accomplished something. I mean,
absolutely,
yeah.
Physically, mentally, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
absolutely.
When does he graduate?
Saturday is the big rodeo.
Oh,
and then
so where does that
ceremony.
take place?
It's at the old Xena School,
okay.
Which is now Line, LINE, Lyman Institute of Northeast. Yeah, and then later that night, there's a caterer's coming in, and there's a nice sit-down dinner. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, what's the next step? Does he now look for
employment? He's looking for a job. Yeah, he was, and he's able to if he goes the union track, which he's planning on doing, he can enter as an apprentice. Okay. And then 4,000, 2 years, a full-time, 4,000 hours, a full-time apprentice employment and training, whatever. He's eligible to become a, full-on, brother, member of the IBEW, so.
Good.
Yeah. Fantastic. And he got accepted. He'll find out in a week or two. The lineman or the union training academy, whatever. So he was accepted to apply for that. So.
Oh, he has to wait to hear.
Yes.
Okay.
It's sort of the same thing he's doing now, but it's very selective, and if you don't make it, you don't make it. So.
Right.
Whatever. So he's in a great position, good trajectory, as well as he has a CDL. So until he gets a job in his field, shall we say, he can you look around. Everyone.
What's a CDL?
What's that?
What's a CDL?
Commercial driver's license.
Good. Okay.
Which he's can operate the bucket truck and everything. He's all certified for all that.
Yes, he can do all that. That's great. Well, congratulations.
I'm glad you brought up everything that's going on with your son, because that duplicates, triplicates, quadruplicates all over the city for people's grandchildren, children, and people like that to be inspired to move into the trades.
Absolutely.
To move into the trades, because that's a huge need in every aspect of trades, from plumbing to lineman.
You can't. Yeah, we're just talking off air about. I said if my plumber calls, I got to take it.
Yeah, and I'm like, who do you use for a plumber?
Yeah.
We're talking about plumbers.
This is across the river. We got at camp, but Red Hook Plumbing, great guys, Bill and Pat,
great,
wonderful technicians. But I got a lot of work that needs to be done, so they definitely.
So you can't miss that.
Yeah,
you can't miss that phone
call.
call.
And it's a deadline, stuff that needs to get done for camp. So there's a hard deadline when the buses show up.
There you go. Well, we'll let you go, Cameron, when you get the phone call.
If and when, hopefully. But hey, so my son, just one other thing. So the lineman. So that suit, he just picked it up. It's like a fitted, shiny, fashionable suit. But look, he does my cowboy hat and
I love the
scorpion
cowboy
bow
hat.
tie.
Yeah,
and the boots, you can't really see the boots. I wouldn't look at them. But he's channeling his inner Dutton Ranch, Yellowstone Dutton Ranch.
There he is. He is.
Yeah,
he's like a Texan there in that picture. I'll tell you. Austin.
I don't know where it's, and that is a Texas cowboy with the bowler tie.
Oh, yeah, it is, absolutely.
As opposed to like a Wyoming or an Idaho cowboy, that's
the true Texan.
Exactly,
yes.
That's a southern cowboy right there.
Who knows? He may end up down south. You never know.
Yeah, he's game.
Could say.
He's 18 years old. He can do what the hell he wants.
Isn't that a
I
wonderful
know.
place
It's
to
like
be,
holy
right?
cow.
Yeah. Sure is. So we're going to talk about organ donation, right? And
so why is organ donation coming up right now? Is there a reason?
Yeah, so every April is organ donation month in New York State, and the DMVs throughout New York State, through the County Clerks Association, partner with Donate Life, and we actually do quite a bit of events and different activities to promote organ donation. So I'm going to give you some interesting facts.
Yeah,
Cameron, you want some interesting facts?
I do.
One organ donor. So if you sign up to be an organ donor, you can save 8 lives and heal 75 more through eye and tissue donation. So not only when you think of organ donation, you think heart, liver, kidneys, but the tissue and the eyes, the donation of those 75 people from one donor can be helped through organ donation. Right now, on the organ donation list for an organ transplant, 8,500 New Yorkers. And New York State is very at the low end of organ donation as far as individuals that have signed up to be an organ donation donor.
I vaguely remember hearing that last year, perhaps.
Yeah.
Which shocks me because New York's a pretty progressive state.
I know.
Everyone lined up to get vaccines and... somewhat left-leaning liberal politics, and
You would think you'd have a higher
yeah,
percentage, right?
There are also a lot of spaced out people that don't know, what to do and how to actually sign
Become
up to
organ
do
donors,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, how you can become an
Exactly.
organ donor. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Dan. 631 New Yorkers died in 2020 because the organ they needed wasn't donated in time. And if you need an organ, many individuals actually move to other states where donations are much more
Really?
accessible. Yes, Florida is one of those states. Yeah, because New York is so difficult to get an organ here. Anyone can register. You're never too old. People say, no one wants my organs, but you're never too old to register. And now Governor Cuomo at the time passed a law that at age 16, you can join the New York State Donate Life Registry. Because what was happening was 16-year-olds were coming into the DMV to get their learner's permit, and they weren't eligible to sign up, and they were losing that whole age bracket because then they wouldn't have to come back for another 4 to 8 years.
Yeah.
So now they can sign up at the age 16 with parental consent. And then, of course, once you turn 18, then you can do that on your own. In addition, 1,400 people have been waiting more than 5 years for an organ. So 1,400 people over 5 years. Amazing statistic to think that if you're really sick, and I have a really good friend, and I know most people who know anything about organ donation has heard him speak, and that's Butch Denner, and he had a liver transplant, and he was one of those people that waited years before he got his liver. And every 10 minutes, another person is added to the national transplant waiting list. So every 10 minutes, a person on the national now, this is not New York State, but national transplant list. A question that people ask all the time, like, let me say this. When you come into the DMV and you do a license transaction, there's a question, do you want to be an organ donor? Before, you either checked yes or you didn't answer the question. Now you have to check skip the question. So it forces you to read the question and make a conscious decision whether you want to be an organ donor or not, which is really a positive. So what people don't realize is registering as a donor does not interfere with your medical care. People worry that, oh my gosh, if I'm an organ donor and they're not going to take life-saving measures to keep me alive because I am an organ donor. That is not the case. So don't feel that if you sign up to be an organ donor, your medical care is going to be compromised, because it's not. And there's no cost to the donor's family or estate for organ and tissue donation. So those are some of the facts about organ and tissue donation that people don't realize. Now, what we're doing in the DMV, we have all types of giveaways, from pens to Lenards to sweatshirts to T-shirts and so forth. And on Tuesday at 10:30, we are going to do a flag-raising awareness event in the front of the county office building.
Today?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
I'm sorry, next Tuesday at 10:30, and that's going to be in conjunction with the legislative meeting, because they do a proclamation making April Donate Life Month in Ulster County. So that will be next Tuesday at 10:30, and the public is invited, and we'll put the Donate Life flag up, and it'll be up there for the whole month of April, the last 2 weeks of April. And then on Friday of that week, the 19th, 20th, 21st, we will have refreshments, balloons, and different activities in the DMV. We'll have a coloring page for children with crayons and so forth, promoting organ donation.
Is the only time that you can register for organ donation on your license when you're renewing your license? Or if somebody's inspired right now because of what you're saying and what you're discussing, can they change their status?
They can. They can. So let's talk about the ways. Great question, Dan. So let's talk about the ways that you can do this. So, of course, like we said, you could check yes on the New York State DMV license, the MV44 form, and you can become an organ donor, and it will show on your driver's license, and you'll have a little heart. You can sign up through My DMV website. So you can go on the My DMV website and you can sign up as an organ donor. Now, if you're not doing a DMV transaction, you can go right to the registry's website, and that's at donatelife.gov. donatelife.ny.gov. So donatelife.ny.gov, and you can enroll in minutes right there online, and you do not have to do a DMV transaction to do it. You can also, there is a form on the back of the New York State voter registration form, which allows you to register to donate your organs and tissues, and you can bring it right to your county board of elections, or you can actually forward the page right up to the New York State Donate Life. So if you go on Board of Elections, another avenue to sign up to be an organ donor. And I understand that you could check yes to the organ and tissue donation question when applying for health insurance through the New York State Health Online Insurance Marketplace. So if you do the Marketplace insurance, there's a place there to sign up to be an organ donor. So there's actually 5 different ways that you can sign up through DMV, through the Board of Elections, through the Health Insurance Marketplace, or going online to donatelife.ny.gov. So we encourage people to, look at all those different avenues available to them.
Even if you just Google, how do I become an organ donor?
Yes.
I'm sure there's a couple keystrokes will get you right where you need to be, too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you can catch any of those precise websites,
Yes, you can. You can go online, just Google
I
it.
got the heart on my license. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Why
there
why
you
wouldn't
go.
you?
Yeah, right.
As far as I know, there is no religious or cultural exclusion to becoming an organ donor.
No, as a matter of fact.
In fact, I think any benevolent God would be happy that one of his followers thought about others enough to give them part of their life in their after death. You know what I mean?
Yes,
think
all
about it that
major-
way.
all major religions
If you're,
organ donation.
what God would be mad if you helping your fellow man
Yeah, an act of
by
love and generosity.
donating your organ? You know what I mean?
And no ages, no age restrictions at all. If I were to, I am an organ donor, so I'm already registered for that. But what do I look like during the funeral showing?
You look like anyone who is not an organ donor. You would never know someone was an organ donor.
That's an
that's
an
another great
important
question
point.
because that's
Yes.
another concern people have.
Yes.
Well, I'm getting
Yes.
cremated, so you can't tell anyhow. You're a,
Right, there
handful
you
of
go.
gravel.
So, carrots
You're a
are-
handful of gravel.
Just a little bit of a less of a handful of gravel.
Yeah, exactly. Can't tell. So it's missing a couple pieces. No one's gonna know.
So that's a very, very important point that, if it is a funeral showing, at a funeral home, you don't look any different.
You don't at all, and a
Absolutely.
lot of people are concerned about that.
Yes.
And yes, there's no noticeable difference if you're an organ donor. And sometimes people say, "What am I donating?" When I sign up to be an organ donor, what am I donating? So you're donating all the following organs. You're donating your tissues, your heart, your kidneys, your pancreas, your lungs, your liver, your intestines, your eyes, cornea, skin, heart valves, bone, blood vessels, nerve, cartilage, and connective tissues. So that's quite a bit. Now, of course, every person is not going to be donating all of those organs, but
Right.
that is what you are signing up to donate.
So that's, in other words, it really has to do. Organ donation has to happen within hours, or within a day.
I'm sorry, what's that, Dan?
From the donor to the recipient, it has to be very, very quick. So
Yes.
it really just depends on what is absolutely needed on the top of the list that day when you passed.
Yeah.
And it has to be a match. It has to be a perfect
has to
match.
be a
And,
match.
yeah, there's quite a bit that actually goes into it. So if you have any questions, you can always contact our office, 340-3040. You can go on our website, or you can go to our Facebook page. And on our Facebook page this month, every 2 to 3 days, we're telling stories about different individuals who have had organ transplants. We're giving some facts, as we're discussing today on the radio. So click on our Facebook page and find out a little bit more about organ donation. And thank you to the legislature and to Tracy Barthels and the chair and our county executive. We're really excited to do the flag raising awareness next Tuesday at 10:30. So everybody's invited. The public's invited. Show your support for this initiative. It's so important, and it's really life-saving. What more can
Yeah,
you say?
absolutely.
It's life-saving to be an organ donor.
Why the heck not? You're not going to need it.
No, you're not,
The
Cameron.
minute that machine goes beep in the hospital, you don't care. You're done. Your soul's going to go somewhere, and your body stays here. So you might as well put it to good use.
Absolutely, and you're in a certain way, you're actually increasing
Living
your
on.
life. You're living on in many ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Serving the greater good.
And I'll give you a statistic. How about this? So the DMVs throughout the state are having a little contest, how many people we sign up for organ donation in the DMVs. And in Ulster County, we're 39% last week of our applicants who did license transactions. We signed up 39% of the individuals.
Oh, wow.
And that might not sound like a lot to those of you that are listening, but we are the fourth highest county in the state as far as organ donation signups for this past week. So we'll keep working on that. Yes, Ulster County is very good as far as organ donations and signing up.
Who are you neck and neck with, do you know?
Yeah, well, you know
Yeah,
what?
how?
Believe it or
Who
not,
was
the
1 and
western
2 and
part of
3?
the state is very good with organ donation. And you know what isn't down like more towards Westchester, New York City, Long Island. They're more, that's what pulls us down so much because they're
Low
not,
rates,
yeah,
really?
low rates.
Huh.
Yeah. Surprising.
Oh, yeah.
I should have brought. I have a sheet that shows every county and where they fall within the percentage of organ donation.
Do you know some of the other clerks? Is there a friendly rivalry going on?
Yeah, it is, and they share pictures and what their DMVs are doing, and but it's great.
You're
It's
trash
a
talking.
nice incentive.
You're trash
right?
talking the Erie County clerk. I got you, sucker. That's funny.
Yeah, it's great. It's a very positive thing. So, and I know county clerks that we do our naturalization ceremonies, and they have people that have been organ donors or received organs come and speak at the naturalization ceremonies, which is really nice. We've never done that, but I thought, what a positive way to get the message out. So, speaking of which, May 13th, we're back in the courthouse for our naturalization ceremonies, but unfortunately we still can't have the public. The courts are very strict.
Yeah, I
don't know
saw.
if you read that
Yeah,
article.
just
Yes.
today. Yeah. Is that just to keep everyone safe? They
Yes.
don't want to shut things down, or
Very, and they really they had mandatory vaccination.
Yeah.
And there is 140 people, I believe, that they actually fired because they did not get vaccinated. And 2 judges who they have, or 2 or 4 judges, maybe 4, that they had to report to the ethics committee that refused to get vaccinated, and they won't allow them to sit on the bench in a court room right now. So they're very strict. They reduced the from 6 feet of social distancing to 3 feet of social distancing, and you still have to wear your mask. So we will keep everybody 3 feet apart, and we will allow 1 guest per citizen being sworn in, and we still won't do the color guard and the choir and so forth. We'll just have a solo singer. But and Kingston Radio, not that I know we're on Kingston Community Radio, but Kingston Radio live streams it for us, which is a nice thing also. So people who cannot attend the event can watch it on Facebook being live streamed.
does it have to be in the courtroom?
No, we've done it so far. We've done it in the legislative chambers during the pandemic.
Okay, because I was going to say you could ditch the court. I mean, if you don't have to use the court, you don't have to follow their rules, right? You could.
No, we just need the judge. That's all to go wherever we have it because the Supreme Court judge has to swear them in. Yeah. So one time we tried to get it out at the community college because the parking's great. There's lots of room.
Yeah.
The theater, but it just
I was thinking City Hall, like that'd be.
City Hall would be a nice
room,
place too. Up at
county
the
county chambers are.
Yeah.
County legislative chambers are nice, but it's officey. It's not.
Yes, and it's smaller.
Yeah.
Small.
And the courtroom is cool because it's a courtroom.
Yeah.
But the city
Yeah,
council
the Common
chambers,
Council.
Common
Yeah.
council chambers are.
That would be a
nice.
great idea,
Yeah.
Cameron. I never thought of moving it there one time. Yes.
I'm full of it. Full of good ideas.
You are. I'm
sometimes.
telling you. We're going to get you to run
do
for
you-
office yet.
Do you know how many people are getting
I haven't
naturalized?
received the list yet, but we really have been limiting it to about 25 to 30 people, only because of COVID and the
with
rules
the-
and regulations. Yeah, it's the easiest way to do it. So we
Cool.
yeah. So that's May 13th is our next one, and then we don't have any during the summer. And then September we start up again. So wonderful event. I hope to
Yeah,
open it soon to the
you've-
public again, so people can come and see it and enjoy it.
And we've had other, I think, other guests have commented on how, refreshing and nice of a event it is.
It's a positive experience.
Very positive.
Yeah.
How,
and it's nice if you know someone getting sworn
Yeah,
in.
that'd
Yeah, it
be
makes
cool.
it special.
Yeah.
Very, very special. So, busy time coming up in the spring, with a lot going on in the county and in the county clerk's office. We've been really busy. And, we always speak about the motor vehicle. And with the summer coming and people putting all those
boats and motorcycles and
convertibles and RVs on the road, so it keeps us busy. And the dealers must be getting new cars in because the dealer work is picking up, and we're becoming busier with it.
I just took delivery yesterday of a brand new Ford Ranger pickup truck.
Okay, then how long did you wait for that?
7 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave us a 2022. We had ordered a 2021 truck in August, and they gave us a 2022 for the same price.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, rightfully so. I mean.
Yeah. It wasn't. And it wasn't our fault for the holdup. So why penalize us? But it's 7 months. Rugi's Ford over in Rhinebeck, the former Rhinebeck Ford. So it was cool, nice. Haven't driven a brand new truck. 4 miles on the odometer when picked it up yesterday.
Oh, that's yeah. That's really nice.
Haven't driven a new car off the showroom in a while.
So, when you think about it, right, things started to open up maybe like in September of 2020 or so forth. So it's been a little over a year and a half. So all those things that were not manufactured, all the things that were not produced in that time frame, now finally I think it's starting to catch up, and the supply chain is starting to catch up, which is a positive. Because now if we could just get the truck drivers and so forth to haul the materials, that would alleviate a lot of the issues. And did you see JetBlue? Remember, I was unable to come to the breakfast because my flight was canceled and delayed, et cetera. And now I see JetBlue is cutting back all their flights by 10% because they're having issues with staffing.
Really?
Staffing shortages.
Wow.
So for the summer months, they're cutting everything back 10%, which I think is better because you'd rather have less flights and happy customers than try to accommodate more customers and not be able to flights take off.
You anger customers are not going to call you back next time they want to travel. So,
right.
There's a lot of competition out there.
Yeah, so that another, repercussion of the pandemic is the shortage of employees. Why? I'm not too sure, Cameron. I don't know what happened before and after the pandemic. All those people that were working before are not working now. Many retired, and I understand that.
And unemployment's historically low again.
Right.
So where are all these former workers?
I don't have enough.
Not that many people retired. I mean, I don't know. How many people do you know retired in the last year?
Right.
Couple.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
And all those young people that are coming out of colleges and
they all need
high
jobs.
And, they have to work.
I don't understand.
I don't either. I'm not too sure what happened there, but I was glad to see that the airlines are accommodating the employee shortage and so that the customers are happy. And, it's a horrible thing when you're on a trip and you either cannot get to where you're going or you cannot get home. Very frustrating at times. So this will be it'll be good for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, especially if your delay requires, like, if you miss a connecting flight, and, hurts your vacation or whatever.
Or you're going for a wedding or an event,
something
that's time
you can't
sensitive.
get home in time, and whatever, the kids, the babysitter, it's the worst.
It is. So at 8:00 we have birthdays. We do
and
not
another half hour of Nina and
you
Cam.
and I. So 331-9255. We'll give folks time to think about those questions.
Otherwise, we'll have to start reading the paper.
Yeah,
and there ain't much in the paper today. We already talked about half of it.
You guys are doing a yeoman's job.
Oh, we're trying.
Wonderfully done.
We can just blather on.
We can, can't we, Cameron?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So please.
But a call in, a guest, a caller or a question. So no one's offered up any potato
recipes.
or other menu ideas for their Easter celebration.
And let's know if there's any Easter egg hunts out there this weekend for children
You know,
and adults.
the Elks had an adult Easter egg hunt, and
How
it was
did that go?
really good. I worked Saturdays painting my kitchen, and I not that I didn't want to go, but I needed to go to show support.
Sure, you're the president.
I
yes.
pulled in, and the parking lot was full. I was like, "Holy cow!" Walked in the door, and like the place was full. I didn't know half the people there.
Oh.
Civilians, it was advertised, open to the
Right.
public, and our sign and some event posting or something. But it was great. Met a bunch of people, and
Maybe you'll get some new members.
yeah,
out
a couple
of
of
it.
people got applications, and but it was cool to see.
Keep it going.
Not the same old.
I thought that was really, really,
It was-
ingenious.
yeah, it was
ingenious
great.
as an adult Easter egg hunt.
And they raised some money, for I forget what charity it was for.
They weren't real Easter eggs, right? Every egg had some kind of a little prize. in
Yeah,
it or
there's
something.
numbers in. There was a couple
numbers.
like golden
Yeah.
eggs that
Golden
had
eggs.
bigger prizes, but the other ones had numbers, and that corresponded with levels of prizes. So
What time did you do that?
it was like 5:00, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
it was cool. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Early, snacks. But all right, we'll go to break. All right, we'll be back.
Thank you, Nina Poshapek and Cameron Rylance, and you are with us on a terrific Tuesday, April 12th. 51 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, and, of course, companionship. Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance so common with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Anne Marie from the great town of Kingston, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
You're listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. And the last portion of Kingston Community Radio was brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard is their main office. Rain showers this morning with mostly sunny conditions during the afternoon hours. So high of 71 today and partly cloudy with a low of 39 tonight. Considerable clouds early on Wednesday and some decrease in the clouds later in the day with peaks of sunshine later with a high of 71 for Wednesday. And Wednesday night, rain showers early with overcast skies later with a low of 55. And Thursday, partly cloudy with afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Some storms may have some strong gusty winds as well, and that's a 40% chance of rain on Thursday. And Thursday night, 50% chance of a shower or two during the evening, followed by partly cloudy skies later with a low of 43. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is being brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, and that is located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit RGBAUM for more information on commercial realty. And let's see if there's anything else that I have to tell you before I go back to the on-air studio. I don't think so. Let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Poshapek and Cameron Rylance.
And we're back.
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, we
never
didn't
even
look
looked
to see
at.
if we had birthdays. I hope we have a birthday.
We don't. All right, folks.
Shucks.
Because you let us down by one, not calling.
Come on
Two,
now.
not submitting your birthdays. Let's go to the Freeman to see whose birthday it is today. We're going to read somebody's
I'll
birthday.
look on Facebook, so we'll find birthdays.
All right. Herbie Hancock. Doon, 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 doon. He's 82. Ed O'Neill, 76. Dave Letterman, 75. Andy Garcia, the actor, 66. Amy Ray, and I don't know. Shannon Doherty, 51. I'm older than Shannon Doherty, huh? She had lovely blue eyes. Well, she still does, I assume. Claire Danes, 43. Musician Brendan, that's it. No one else's birthdays today.
Nobody. And I don't have any birthdays on Facebook either.
You know, seeing this picture of the Eagle, the other week or so ago, I was driving to work. I love going over the Mid-Hudson Bridge, or the Rhinecliff Bridge, every day. It's cool. The weather, you get such a cool picture of the weather. Like, you can see the sky, whatever. Oftentimes, I've seen a lot of birds, the gulls, crows. When the wind hits the bridge, it creates an updraft, so birds can, soar. There was an eagle. It was, 30 feet in the air, as high as the streetlights, low. Just sitting there, hovering, perfect stationary, just tweaking its wings a little bit to stay in the updraft, just stationary. And it was literally up. I was driving east, so it was on my left, so it was on the north side of the bridge facing south. And just sitting there, it was literally turning its head, watching the traffic go by. Drove by, saw it, and as I was driving, followed it, dangerously not watching the road for too long on a bridge. But it was the coolest thing. I literally saw it. He was turning its head, watching the traffic, just hovering there. It was wow. It was cool.
That's amazing because just the other day, Dwayne was saying, and I can't remember where he was, huge nest. He said, and it came down into a V. He had never seen a nest like that. And he said, I think that's an eagle's nest. And then he saw the eagle perched up top, huge.
It was Sawkill Road, along the creek, there's one out there.
It might have been.
And then there's one behind the Romeo Kia, crossing the Quick Check by Adams.
Yes, because we talked about the Romeo one because that's where they had all the problems with putting in the new building. But and we said for years you would never even see an eagle, and now they're becoming more prevalent.
Yeah, which is cool. I think it's cool.
He lives down in Westchester, right next to his house. He has vacant land and a huge eagle's nest.
Really?
With the eagle there, yeah. So pretty cool, but that's neat to see it over the bridge like that.
Yeah, it was just hanging out.
Yeah.
You want to win a trivia contest someday?
Sure.
Eagles don't live in nests. They live in eyries. Aerie. Right. That's a technical name for an
eyrie.
eagle.
Yes, exactly.
An eyrie. Yes.
Eyrie. Arie. And are they really huge?
Oh yeah, they're huge. Yeah, they're huge. 2 full-grown eagles on a nest. That's a lot of weight, and in and out, flying, landing. So they got to make a very robust eyrie. So.
Well, I had to tell you something. If I ever go to a trivia night, I am calling you up on the phone, Cameron.
Say, where do eagles
and
live?
you are going to be my partner.
Where do eagles live?
Oh my gosh, you have so much trivia in your head.
Full of nonsense.
No. Really interesting information.
No, I think it's cool that they're coming back and to see them, and
yeah, absolutely.
And hawks too. See a lot of hawks.
Do you?
Yeah, all the larger prey birds. We see a
DDT,
lot of them all around. We stopped doing stupid things to the earth, and now they know that they can come back.
Sort of.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
anyway.
Doing stupid things that hurt their eggshells, but we still do a lot of stupid things to the earth. Yeah. I was just reading an article. I forget what it was about. Pelagic birds, like albatrosses and shearwaters and some petrels, how they fly. They fly 20,000 miles, literally pole to pole. Annual migrations. 30,000 miles a year. These animals fly and very long lived. And there's this one. I forget what type of albatross it was. It's 73 years old. When I was born in 1950. And it's been banded, and they've tracked it somehow, radio telemetry, whatever. That it's flown over 5 million kilometers, which is 3 times around 30 times to the Earth and Moon, or some incredible distance.
3
in the
million
50 years
kilometers is a lot of
birds been alive, but
That's very interesting.
Really,
and I tracked it.
albatrosses live that long?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
I
is
did not
truly
know
amazing,
that.
like a turtle.
And some of them have like never like other than what makes them extremely hard to study is that some of them I've never seen from the mainland. Their rookeries are on like little tiny islands. Some of them they don't even know. Like there's particular like the New Zealand petrel. They don't even know where its colonies are, like where it gives birth or whatever. It's never been discovered. Studying, it's like the most hardest thing. It's easier to study whales than it is to study these birds because one, they're tiny and they fly and they never stop, and they fly through hurricanes. They sleep, their brain sleeps half at a time, so they can always fly. They can lock their wings and soar, like they don't have to flap for theoretically days at a time. They don't have to fly. It's like. They navigate by the sun, the stars, magnetic particles in their brain. They're like, they don't even, it's like they don't even know how amazing these birds are because they haven't discovered how amazing they are yet. It's like it's crazy when you think about it.
They have a hard time taking off, though.
Yeah.
And they look funny when they land, but they are obviously artists in the air.
Yeah, but there's a whole, there's 30 varieties of these petrels and not all petrels are like that, but the pelagic, whatever. Something, I forget where they go. And they have something with their nose, too. Like they don't lose, they have heat exchange. I don't know, like when they breathe, they don't lose heat like every other animal does. They do something, and I don't know, it's crazy how.
Yeah, it is, though. It's so, yeah.
I want to say wacky, these birds are, but so incredibly specialized.
Yes,
Yeah,
how
cool.
attuned they are to nature and how they navigate, and it really is amazing. So, and
Bird
to
team.
track them,
so
virtually impossible.
Ships, whatever. I can imagine, but it's cool that the big birds of prey are.
Yeah, then the
we're
eagles are
able to
there.
see 'em, yeah,
The eagles are soaring.
That's right.
That's for sure. So, Cameron, what do you think about sports these days? Not too much going on.
Not too much going on. Yeah, when you can tell there's not a lot going on. I noticed this this morning because I wanted to see on the air. The first thing is African Basketball League. We can watch Cape Town versus Petro Delora, and that's the first thing. The first thing on sports schedule on the air.
I know, not too much right now.
Yeah.
Baseball's just started, right? The Yankees did well.
Toronto tonight.
Okay. How did they do in the series against Boston?
I know they
won. I know
they won 2 games. I think the home opener, and then they won the second game in extra innings. So we'll see.
Yeah. So we do have baseball starting.
I am outraged by the fact that the deal you can only see baseball through network television. You have to have cable. No streaming services have it. You have to have Time Warner.
Oh, really?
Yep.
We have cable, so I didn't realize
Years ago, when I ditched cable for Hulu,
right,
you could watch Yes Network. But then, like that winter, the MLB or whatever signed. Not MLB, the Yankees at least. I don't know if it was all Major League Baseball. The Yankees at least signed Mets too. SNY. You can't get Yes Network on like streaming services or whatever.
So you cannot watch the Yankees on any. Can you watch baseball? Do they stream other teams?
Yes.
Okay, they just don't. Stream
Luckily, if like occasionally the Yankees are on Channel 11, WPIX,
Right.
you can watch those games. But those are like one a week,
Right.
a few a month. Most of 90% of their games are on Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it
Because
stinks.
we have Spectrum, so I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah, that really does.
But
So
money. It's all about the money.
It is all about the money. It truly is. Yeah. I did remove all my boxes out of the house. I have like Fire Sticks or Apple TV. I don't have the boxes anymore.
I am looking for, a little article today too about the Dutchess County shifting. They were controversially going to spend money on the stadium, which at the time sounded like a good idea. But then the arguments came up. Well, we need money otherwise. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. It's kind of silly to. It is a baseball stadium. But I hope that I'm interested in. I want to go to. I usually go to Renegades game every year.
Yes,
But I
yes.
want with the Yankees affiliation. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it should be fun.
yeah.
The Italian American Foundation is doing a bus trip there on May 26th, the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend, and they have one of the boxes there, 40 people, food, drink, and stuff. So that's exciting.
Is that open to the public, or is that just for you guys? Or, the club members? Or
Yes.
association members?
It's people other than members can actually attend. Yes.
That's cool. 'Cause a couple years ago, went to the Little Italy.
Oh, yes.
Bus trip.
Yes, that was great,
fun.
right?
That was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, they do. The Ulster County Italian American Foundation does great trips. They do.
I
yes.
tell you, the bus ride back smelled a lot better than the bus ride down.
Yeah, all that food.
Cannolis and salami and the
cheeses.
prosciutto going on.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was a lot of fun. And then Chinatown. I brought back Peking duck.
Oh, did
That
you?
stunk up the bus. Want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
A couple, 3 years ago, a buddy of mine, the buddy I went to Italy with, my buddy Ron, he has a house in Westbrook, Connecticut, right on the water. And have a couple of other fraternity brothers coming over. And my buddy Chewy, nicknamed Chewy from Chewbacca, Tom Bohan, lives down in Yonkers. Actually, a long-time Bloomberg employee. 3-digit, yeah, Mike, we knew Mike when he worked in the company, 3-digit employee number. Someone's like, what do you want to, I'm bringing something up. And somebody's like, made a joke, like, bring, one of those suckling, the Chinese, the suckling pigs.
The pigs,
the
yes,
Chinese
yes.
pigs. And so Chewy's like, okay. So the normal place he goes to, he works in Lower Manhattan, took the subway to Flushing, to like the place to get the suckling pigs, whatever, and picked it up. And like when he went to pick it up, Chewy's big. He's like big dude, tall, hockey player. He's 54 years old, still plays hockey, men's league. He went to the counter and like they tried to hand it to him like in like a paper bag, and he's like, no, on a board. It's 2 feet long, 15 pounds. And it was hot. It was like right out of the oven. He's like, no, I got to get on the subway. And no one there spoke a word of English. So he's like, he looked behind the counter and like they had a big industrial roll of saran wrap. So he like walked behind the counter. He's like, these guys are little guys. They're yelling at me. People are looking from the kitchen, and he like grabbed the roll and it was, ran around to make this suckling pig subway worthy. Oh my God. And he said he got back on the subway train. He said the thing was so hot. He's like, it was making me sweat. It's burning my lap. Smelling
on the subway and seeing somebody with that
from Flushing back to Manhattan and up to Yonkers, and then he got in his car and then drove to Westbrook, Connecticut, on Friday afternoon. And he's like, the whole subway car. He's like, people are giving me dirty looks, and he's like, I thought some hobo was gonna try to take it. And the way he told the story, it's funny, man.
It's funny.
And the only Chewy, so he shows up, 8 o'clock, and we have already been there drinking, He shows up 8 o'clock at night, hey, with this thing under his arm, like a French baguette from the bakery, but it's a suckling pig. And we're all like, whoa, Chewy, you brought it.
Well worth his, all the work.
Yeah, it was well received.
Yeah, okay,
my buddy Darby was like, gee, I wasn't really serious when he said one of those suckling pigs. Because Darby now lives in Vermont. There isn't apparently not, you can't get a suckling pig in Vermont anymore.
No, you can't get a suckling pig
not
in very
cooked.
many places.
Yeah, not cooked like that, but it is a funny story.
It is.
I have some interesting friends.
You do have some interesting experiences.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You do.
shoo, another good experience coming up is my annual first weekend in May, which unfortunately I missed the clean sweep almost every year. My annual fraternity canoe trip on the mighty Delaware.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's always a
You
blast.
haven't done that in a couple of years, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
you've done it
But
here?
we've been doing it. Yeah.
think you did
Even
last
through
year.
COVID, we were like, yeah, the hell did. But it's early in the year. The water's cold. It's still a slow time of the year on that part of the Delaware.
Where do you start and where do you end?
We start at in Berryville. We stay at Jerry's Streeter Canoes in Berryville. Pond Eddy, actually, it's technically Pond Eddy, I believe. And then the first day we go upstream to like either Cedar Rapids. We don't go all the way to Skinner's Fall. That's too far, and there's not very good water there. Usually like Cedar Rapids down, and then the second day we start there and go get out of Port Jervis. and they bust you back.
I was going to
So
ask
you
you
go
how you
through
get back.
that Hawk's Nest, the cool part of that road where they filmed like 100 car commercials with cliffs built, the roads built into the cliffside. Yeah, it's cool. But
How many of you do that every year?
it's last few years it's grown because of a big push for a long time. Answer your question, like 60 to 100 guys, but that spans, from the 70s to they kicked our fraternity out, I believe, in the mid 90s. But all the fraternities left, the insurance issue, whatever. So there's 30 years of people going, and the last few years there was a big push by some of the older guys, like guys, alumni from the 70s and alumni from the 70s to start going again. And these guys, it's like, coming down to campers, and most of them don't even hit the river anymore. They're hanging out and they play cards all day. And but it's cool, hanging out with them. And we're all, 56 at this point. I'm an old guy too compared to some, but we're all moving up. So, you're sort of in that
Together.
window of time, because like when you pledge a fraternity, you got to, a big thing is like learning about your other brothers and your history, and that's the whatever, and learning out who Tank, Bruce Rosenstein, that Tank. I had to learn the old nicknames and stuff, and to hang out with Tank. When you're 18 years old, pledging a fraternity, he's like this mythical character.
Yeah, Tank, right?
And now he's like a chubby, balding, old guy, like the rest of us. So it's kind of cool,
That's great. And that's
But
the
it's
first
fun.
week in May that you do
Always
that.
the first weekend of May, yeah.
Good.
Always at Jerry's. What a cash infusion that is. Whew.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's $100 a pop, includes camping, and he sells like this. He has sells firewood, like a little yard tractor trailer. 3 feet by 4 feet by 2 feet deep. It's probably like an eighth of a cord of wood.
Yeah.
It's like $125. He's making like $1,000 on firewood because people can't.
Well, yeah.
Some of these
you have
people
to.
get
You're
out. Their wives let them out, or spouses or mates will let them out once a year. And
This is it.
This is
They're
it.
gonna take
With the
full
boys,
advantage.
and they're building fires and burning stuff, and it's good, clean fun.
It's good.
No one gets
It's
hurt.
Good. No.
A lot of brain cells and liver damage, but
Other than that,
yeah, it's
that
good, clean fun.
Beautiful, fresh, clear air.
And we've had 90-degree weather. We've had 30-degree weather. It's crazy what the first week. I only know this from experience. And it's from sleeping out. You're camping. I'm sleeping on the ground.
Right.
Literally every single kind of weather we've had, from snow to sunstroke. It's crazy.
Yeah, the spring here
But
can really.
It's kind of neat. There's
vary
a
as far
couple.
as temperature.
Yeah, you can have everything.
Yes.
There's a tree there that was, right when we first started camping, it was like this little size of a Christmas tree, like in the middle of the field and whatever. Now it's, it's a crappy white pine. It's a garbage tree, but now it's, we're camping under it. When we first started, we were camping next to this little pine tree. Now we're, under these huge.
I have to
boughs.
say, it's
kinda
amazing.
Cool.
It is
Like,
cool.
Literally.
Yes.
Spring of 1985 was my first one, and I've only missed probably 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
One, I was in a wheelchair after my plane crash in 1995. And, a couple. One, my buddy, my old fraternity brothers got married, much to the chagrin of a lot of brothers that year. What the fuck, you can't get married on May? It's a canoe trip. A couple.
Yeah. Where there's
valid reasons, whatever. But
that's-
it's cool.
Yeah, and it's like, have you ever planted a tree like in your backyard or somewhere, and it starts out like a little sapling, and then all of a sudden over the years, I've seen at my mother's house. We don't have any trees really, but I've seen in different places where that tree, and that really puts in perspective, how long you've been going, and what it's all about. It's
that
amazing.
is a very, very special thing to do for your home. We had just a maple tree that we brought from Mount Oliver in Pittsburgh to Pleasant Hills in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. That was my grandfather's house, and it was just a little sapling. And before we were too old, It was, by the time we were, late high school and college age, the thing was 60 feet high.
That's cool. Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely. And it's Grandpa's tree.
Right.
Yeah. It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I defer it back to you.
Yeah. It's like the placenta peach tree across the street from me on Fair Street. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
Years ago. Not the current owners, a couple owners ago. I came
This
home.
is across the street from you?
Yeah, on Fair Street. I came home from something, and I noticed there's like a few people standing in the front lawn. And I parked my car, got out, and I heard drumming. I take a closer look, and there was like a Native American drumming. And then there was another person that had a sage smudge stick, And I'm looking at it like, holy cow, they're having a little ceremony. So I'm standing there watching for a couple minutes, and they had planted a tree, turned out to be a peach tree, and, whatever. But the ceremony was the placenta from their child that was birthed prior to this. They saved it, and it's apparently an ancient custom, Native American custom, that the placenta, you bury it and you plant something with it, and it brings it fertility and life and
I never
whatever.
heard that.
And it was cool, whatever. But years later, this tree, it's still small. It puts out the most copious amounts of peaches, and they're delicious. And it's like
really?
right and fair, and like it's probably 10 years maybe since it's been there. It's a thing like people walk by and stop and pick it.
Are we like an area where peach trees would thrive? I wouldn't think so.
Yes,
because
peach trees thrive all through the state of New York.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
'Cause I've seen pick your own sign, like at Greg's Farm
Farms.
or whatever like
Okay.
that. But this little tree, I don't know if it's the soil or the ceremony or what's in the soil. I don't know, but it's extremely fruitful and
I have to
it's
look.
kind of
It's
cool.
Right across
the street, yeah.
I had to look at this for the tray.
Uh,
and when do peaches bloom? What time of year do you pick peaches?
Spring, early summer,
Early
as I
summer.
recall. Yeah,
Okay.
early summerish, yeah.
Oh, they can be prolific. Absolutely prolific.
Yeah, it's cool. And it weighs it down. Yeah, it's like
Oh yes, we had friends in right in Brooklyn. Like the backyards of the brownstones.
Yeah.
The backyards of the brownstones. One of our friends had a peach tree back there in their garden, and it was just insanely prolific.
James and the giant peach tree.
Incredibly prolific. There were way too many peaches to even use and pick.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
right in Brooklyn.
You got to make jelly.
Yeah.
Peach jam.
pie.
Yeah, cobblers.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah, because I know, like, we talk about when we do the renewal of the peace treaty and things, they do the smudging and we do the drumming and everything. But that's interesting. I never heard the tradition with the placenta.
Planting trees and memory. My organization does that over the plant trees.
Else or
no, my camp for like donors, alumni, or whatever,
that's nice.
and former executive director and whatever. But stupid deer have damaged a couple of them. Yeah, in the fall, coming out and like rubbing their antlers on it, and and it's like, stupid deer.
I know. I saw on Facebook, a friend of mine had a bear going through their backyard just recently. In uptown Kingston. So there's quite a few. Well, this time of year, right? They come out. Because,
Well, they've already woken up, but they're hungry and calving going on. I was on the, Lester Holt last week on the news in Connecticut. This bear jumped into like a little backyard pen, like eating animal food, and it was pigs, two little pigs, and these things.
Snorting
there was like a camera. I don't know if it was like a Ring camera or a camera,
right.
But they showed the footage from the camera, and they were like stood up to it and were like growling, and the bear jumped right back out. It was like
really, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it was crazy. It was like, oh my gosh, look at that.
They're like, what are you doing?
And they're like the little like pet pigs, not like big hogs. There's like little. Cute little pigs, and they scared the bear away. It was funny.
That's great.
Oh, I'm so
a great friend of mine in Great Barrington, no pun intended there, but in Great Barrington, her garage, she had a lot of bird feed in the garage, and the bear literally tore the front of the garage out, right through the wall.
Oh my God!
Really?
To get to the smell of of all the bird seed.
A full-grown bear can tear your front door off and walk right in your house. Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They can. I mean, like it was something to behold, and of course she stayed away. Yeah, and
but
hopefully the insurance takes care of it.
Yeah. Bears love birdseed. They say, backyard bird feeders, beware, if they have bear trouble, don't feed birds and stuff. So
They like birdseed,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Interesting.
What?
Yeah, and those stupid things ruined 2 of my bee hives over the years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have bear over in your camp?
No. Yes, because they've destroyed bee hives, and other people have, they've gotten into other people's garbage. But because we're kind of seasoned, we only have like food waste in our garbage for a few short months in the summer, and it's very noisy and busy at that time. We've never really had any bears on our property.
good.
I mean, I'm sure they're walking through, but
sure,
we never
but-
had any interaction other than them trashing my beehives. But yeah, but like right across the street, they've gotten in their garbage several times and stuff like that. But
Okay.
yeah, fortunately, no.
That's good.
So all right, let's go to
we'll
break.
Okay, thank you, Nina Poschapak and Cameron Rylance. And it's now at the bottom of the hour, and you're with us here on Kingston Community Radio, AM 920, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. Tuesday, April 12th, and I think we've got about, 50 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. And this last portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information. And we'll be right back after these messages.
I'm a mom of a 16-year-old who was using some drugs here or there to cover up kind of an anxiety, depression, eating disorder. I called a place where there was an outpatient program in Rhinebeck. They didn't have anything for young kids in my area. They only had adult stuff, but that her son had talked to a group that was run by Marie Schultes called Awareness, and she said it saved her son. He was 17 at the time and spoke to her till he was 19. He was now 25 and doing wonderful. So I thought of that as a sign. I called Marie, found out about her program, Awareness. I asked Samantha if she'd be willing to try a peer-to-peer group program, as counseling has not really seemed to help her. She wasn't open there. She seems to be very open to the idea of this. She feels it's a safer environment, and she feels less like somebody's telling her what to do and more like, hey, I've been there, I've tried that, here, why don't you try this?
For help, call 845-417-1484. That's 845-417-1484. Or visit awarenessinc.org.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lovezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
And we're back, and thank you for being with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. 845-331-9255 to speak with Nina and Cam today. And rain showers this morning with mostly sunny conditions during the afternoon hours, and a high of 71. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 39. And considerable clouds early on Wednesday with a high of 71. And Wednesday night, 40% chance of rain showers with overcast skies later on. Low of 55 for Wednesday night. Thursday, 79 degrees, and that's the high for Thursday. And it's partly cloudy with some afternoon showers or thunderstorms and maybe some strong gusty winds also. And Thursday night, a low of 43 with a chance of showers or two during the evening, followed by partly cloudy skies later, and that's a low of 43. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and our community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And you're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. It's 8:34 a.m. right now. And let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Postjapak and Cameron Rylance.
And we're back.
And it's the last half
Home
hour.
stretch.
All right.
Hopefully our third guest, Sue Copenhaver, will be here today from the Office of the Aging.
So if not, we have her a newsletter here, right, Cameron? We can talk a little bit about what's happening at the Office of the
we'll
Aging,
give her
right?
a few minutes. Maybe she's rolling in.
All
Maybe
right,
she hit some
we'll give
traffic
her-
on 9W or something.
Okay, we'll give her a few minutes.
But I opened this. We were talking about the rain earlier, and you know me, I'm a weather watcher.
Yes.
And we were talking about year to date. So far this year, we have 10.53 inches. Normal year to date, 9.43. So that's about
An inch
a
more?
half inch.
Half inch, right.
Oh yeah, almost 0.9 inches. Yeah, 0.9 inches, almost an inch more. But look at this. The month to date, 3.12 inches. Normal month to date, 1.3. So that's 2-inch
Whoa, that's
deficit. So that this 1 month of April has skewed our thing.
Yes, it has.
But
we can attest to that without even seeing that, right?
Yeah.
We knew.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that
it's been heavy.
you know, when it rains that hard and that fast, it runs off. It doesn't sink in.
Yeah.
You know,
Point.
the world, the earth needs slow, steady rain to
Right.
soak in and sink deep. Sink deep.
Yeah, and when you really think about it, we don't have those like steady rainy days that much anymore. It's like the heavy torrential rains, or it's cloudy and overcast and maybe some drizzle.
it's-
But I remember growing up, you used to have those rainy days.
All day it would rain, like
Yes.
slow rain all day. Yeah, no, it's either pours or it's
Yeah, the drizzle. You don't get that as much anymore. That's interesting. I
That's
never
not
thought
good.
about
Yeah,
that.
that
until
doesn't-
You brought it up.
Yeah, that doesn't help really. 'Cause, it doesn't replenish aquifer. 'Cause it has to sink. Tree roots. If anyone's dug a hole in the last few years, other than the top few inches of soil, it's dry down below. And you think I've seen these diagrams before. Picture a tree. Everything that's above the ground in the tree is almost equal to underground.
Do you think
Like a tree is. What you see above the line is like mirrored underground. It's really
interesting?
cool.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think with the ice storm, that was one of the reasons so many trees came down because the ground was so dry and the roots and the weight of the ice maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know there's a danger when the ground is saturated that trees can topple over too. Yeah,
the reverse.
The earth is loose, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But from is the weight. You see so many snap things. Just the sheer weight of the ice. Broke the limbs off, but
Yeah.
the ground may have had an effect of toppling trees too. I don't know, but
Yeah, that was trouble with that ice storm. Oh my gosh, people are still cleaning up from it.
yeah, they're still. I've yet to borrow the chainsaw for my job to come cut up the limb that's still in my backyard.
Do ya?
I cut all the branches I could with my lopper, but I got to borrow a chainsaw. The trunk of it's big. So. Oh, good morning,
There
Sue.
she is.
We glad we waited.
Waited. I was ready to
Nina
start
had
reading your
the
newsletter.
online.
I see you guys have Plan B.
The online buzz. Yeah, well,
Back up.
sadly, our other two guests this morning had
What?
conflicts. Dan Whalen had a conflict, and Carl Brown.
It never showed up.
Well, they
Well,
knew.
we knew. They
were
let us know. Yes.
excused absences, but short notice, no one
What
to
did you
film
have to
it.
do? Do they have
we talked.
newsletters
We,
to read
we
too?
talked about the weather, and we talked about you for a while. And we were bashing other people. No, we can.
We can fill the air, right,
Yeah, we
Cameron?
can
I
blather
don't know
on.
if it's useful information, but we
Right,
can.
and no one's called yet about menu selections
No,
for
they
Easter
haven't.
either. Put a plea out. I need to come up with a good potato dish recipe
Anything
for.
with potato dish for
what you
I
could
don't want to
make?
just do scallops because we're having ham for Easter.
So what about mashed potatoes, but you mix in sour cream, cream cheese, other cheeses,
Make 'em-
and paprika.
Oh,
They're really...
it's like a baked stuffed potato without all the hard work.
Yeah, right.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that
All right,
sounds good.
Very tasty.
all right. That's option.
Yeah, Dan
option
came
A.
up with warm German potato salad,
Yeah.
which was another good
That's
option.
another option A.
Make that too.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I hope so.
At the club all the
I
time.
hope so. Fraulein,
Listen.
Fraulein Copenhaver.
Listen, we've been here for over 300 years. American.
I know.
So, instead of going through what we're doing for the month, this is the day of questions.
Ooh.
I have a whole different approach today. So
All
you
right.
might get some calls. Let's see what
Let's
happens.
see.
So I've decided we've been getting a lot of phone calls from people who, mostly from their children. Oh, gee, I haven't seen mom for a long time, and I realized how badly she's doing. And what am I going to do? She can't take care of herself. She lives alone. She lives in a house with stairs all over the place. She's a quarter mile off the road. The driveway's all rock. She can't do her yard anymore. So these are the questions we all need to consider as we age, because we're getting these calls every week now. People are living in houses and places that are not appropriate for them to age in, including myself. So I get it.
Probably us too, Cameron.
I get it.
Yes.
So if you're baby boomer age, which I think is probably who I should be talking to, because the people who are in their 90s living in these places, I don't know what's going to happen. But things to consider as you age. Is your residence totally accessible? Can you get in and out with no problem? Or are there stairs to get in? A long driveway to shovel or maintain? Stairs inside the house to the bedroom, to the bathroom, to the kitchen?
Laundry, yeah.
If not, laundry, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. If they're all on the same floor, that's manageable. And especially if you can get in and out of the house. Sorry, I never said hi to you. Especially if you can get in and out of the house easily. But if all those things are on different levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrying laundry baskets and groceries.
That's one of the reasons my mother came to live with me. Most everything was on one floor. But the laundry was down in the basement with like 15 stairs. And she couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
She had COPD and everything. She goes, I can't do the laundry. I can't get up the stairs anymore. Good. If not, can your residence be modified so a bedroom, a full bathroom, a kitchen, washer, dryer, all on one floor? So that's none of this stuff happens overnight. And is it accessible to the outside? Are you accessible to the outside? Because if you have stairs to get in your house, or you have to park in a garage and walk upstairs to get into your house, even if everything's on one floor, that's a problem. Is your home free of trip falls and trip hazards like clutter, a hoard in your house? And believe me, there are a lot of people around here who have hoards in their houses. They want to have their little scatter rugs, and they want to have all of their furniture that they can't part with because they got it from their grandmother. I'm one of them, okay? I get it. It's an emotional thing. It's an emotional attachment to your stuff. But if your stuff is surrounding you and you walk around like this and you're avoiding your stuff, you will fall and break something. The leading cause of emergency room visits for older people is falls. That's
really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Wow.
Yes.
1 out of 5 visits to the emergency room is a fall. And a lot of them end up being
life-changing.
Life-changing because either I've broken my hip and I can't get up anymore, or I've broken something in my back. Neck fractures aren't that uncommon with that, or some kind of broken back, especially the neck. Not necessarily this part. This is more like spinal stenosis and arthritis that we get when we're older. But a lot of hip fractures, foot fractures, ankle fractures. Then they have to go to rehab. And that's in a nursing home. And let's talk about that for a moment, shall we? Nursing home placement and rehab, Medicare pays for 20 days full in a rehab. On day 21, you have to start paying a copay. And they're not cheap, $300-400 a day. If you don't have it, they don't want you there. They really don't.
Right.
And, in my opinion, as a former administrator, I don't think they're well staffed. Most of the nursing homes are for profit, which I think is a huge mistake, but that's my opinion, world, my opinion. They're getting all this Medicare and Medicaid money, but they are somehow still for profit. And there aren't enough staff. There aren't enough staff anyway. And right now, the staffing situation with healthcare it's abysmal. So chances are you're going to get into a nursing home. They're going to plop you into a wheelchair. They will get you up for rehab, but the rest of the time you're going to spend in a wheelchair. You're not going to be active. Nobody has time to walk you. You can't walk without assistance. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there with your broken hip, warehoused in a row, not doing what you should be doing for your walking, and you may never walk again. And that's what you're talking about when you say
starts the downward spiral.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it's a big problem because it just sort of perpetuates itself with it saying, well, I broke my hip, but I'm going to go to rehab and go home. Maybe, maybe not. And if you can't do stairs anymore,
where are you going?
Where are you going to go
home? You're going home too.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
So, Sue, what would you what advice would you give people who are listening right now, especially seniors, to avoid falling? What are the normal?
Okay, so I have a whole list.
Okay,
One
great.
of them is your cluttered house, your hoard, stairs in your house. That's why we talked about, everything, a nice big open floor plan. Lighting in your house. If you can't see very well, one of the things that goes on us, what are the three things? We talked about this last time, I think. What are the three things that go on you when you're old that Medicare doesn't pay for? Hearing,
teeth,
sight, and teeth. So one of those is sight, right? And if you don't have good lighting in your house or the light switches aren't in a good place, that's something that's fairly easy to fix. Or having motion activated lights that go on when you walk around the house. Easy peasy, just they're like these little night lights that go on when you.
Yeah.
So lighting is one of them. The furniture is one of them. The layout is one of them. Slippery floors in the bathroom. Most people fall in the bathroom and your bedroom because your bedroom's full of junk or your book's on the floor or there's no way to help yourself get out of bed easily. People aren't, the bed's too high or whatever. But slippery bathtub. I can't get in and out of the bathtub anymore. What do? Either you buy one of those bathtubs with a door, if you insist on having a bathtub, or you get an accessible shower. I think there's just, right, Cameron? They have these things. You take out the whole thing, you just push the whole thing in.
Yep.
That's one way of making things safer. If you really can't get off the toilet by yourself, you get higher toilets. They do make them, and you have grab bars next to them, or you have grab bars in the. They're not that expensive. They kind of have these big sucker things they put on the wall, or they install them. I mean, there are things that you can do. People fall when they reach for stuff, so get a reacher. If you have high cabinets, just get something that can pull things down, grab it for you. Step ladders, not the greatest thing in the world, but
better than a chair. Don't be lazy. Don't slide the chair over. Grab the step ladder or get a proper step stool.
I'm assuming that the people that are doing this, they're probably retired. It's not like they don't have time. Like you said. Take the time, bring it over, make yourself safe. Shoes, clothing, stuff that isn't wallowing around your ankles.
Shoes are important. Yes, that fit you.
Shoes
Yes,
that fit right.
Yes.
Now, my mother, I'll bring my mother up again. She had terrible feet problems. She had peripheral neuropathy, and her feet always hurt. She wore these shoes that were like 3 sizes too big, and clop, 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 clop around the house. And it was like, you have to tie your shoes or you're gonna fall. No, they hurt too much. They hurt too much. It's like. And she did trip all over her feet because she refused to use the cane. And anyway, that's a whole other thing. So,
stubborn.
Yes. Where's my list? Falls, broken bones, 20%. One of the leading causes of nursing home rehab. Okay. We talked about the dearth of aids in home care. So if you do fall and you do end up in a rehab and you are lucky enough to go home, good luck finding a home care aide.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
I don't care if you have all the money in the world.
Right.
You are not going to find someone unless you know about a secret underground society of aides. And there are some around here. There really are. But you have to know how to get to them. Yeah. They're just not going to present on your doorstep.
You can't find them on Angie's List or employment things or.
Well, my feeling is this. Private agencies that have aides that work for them are a better bet because they vet them, they background check them, they check their license. I mean, there's some things they can check. And some do turn out with backgrounds. You can't hire them for whatever reason. And if somebody doesn't show up to your house, you get to call the agency and say, so-and-so didn't show up, find me somebody else. Well, good luck with that too. Right. Here's some other questions you need to ask yourself. Do you live within walking distance of a city center, a grocery store, a pharmacy, something like Walmart where you have everything. I'm not touting Walmart. I'm just saying they have a pharmacy and they have everything that you might need to buy, right? A place like that. Are you still can you still drive, or are you dependent on somebody for transportation? The whole transportation system is a whole big problem. In this county, in the county that I live in, especially in rural counties, Delaware County doesn't even have a bus system. And I'm sure there's other counties that don't.
So I have to ask you about the new initiative that's coming
Love
out.
that idea.
Yes.
Love
Can you
that
talk about that a little bit? Okay.
It's just an initiative. Nothing has happened. They're having talks about it, but basically it's a microtransit system from Kingston to Ellenville where there's, my guess is, jitney buses running back and forth. So people can, it's like a circular thing. People can go back and forth instead of relying on one bus that comes at 6 o'clock in the morning and the next bus brings you back at 6 at night. And what are you going to do for 12 hours? You don't know if that's the way the bus system works, but at least they're trying something. I thought that they were electric. I think that
Is there going to be stops along 209, or is it just
You actually
Oh,
call.
okay.
So my
It's
understanding
like a Uber
is
type of
Wow.
situation.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's like an Uber. However, that knocks out everybody who doesn't have a smartphone if it's only driven by an app. My understanding is that you sign into an app like Uber or Lyft. I've used them once or twice. Or the food delivery things, and that you tell them where you are, and they come and pick you up, and bring you where you need to go. What about people who need it who don't have a smartphone? So I'm going to that public thing, and I'll
Yes, because a lot of seniors
do my favorite thing.
A lot of seniors do not have smartphones.
They don't, and they don't want it, and they can't figure it out. And although in our office we have someone who can help them, we do have someone who will train you, will help you with your smartphone or your
But
tablet.
it's an expense. It's an addition, it's an additional
expense
expense on your life.
They're
whatever,
not
yeah.
cheap, and
And
what do you
service,
do?
now you gotta pay every
exactly.
month, and, yeah.
So some of them have, some of the cheaper phones is very cheap. My mother had consumer cellular. Again, I'm not trying to, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of the ones that's very cheap, but it's a flip phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no app on consumer cellular.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole driving dependent thing, we have a volunteer network. A lot of places have volunteer network, which is wonderful. There are some people who use the city bus system, and there are some people, but it's not nearly enough. Those are just some of the things to think about. Where do you live? How close is it, or are you isolated in the middle of nowhere? When I drove at 28 and I visit Pine Hill and we try to get stuff doing, there's nothing for miles, and people live out in those woods.
They do.
And then they can't get
And-
anywhere.
yeah.
They fall on the floor
And
and,
every
they lay there for 3 days.
Yeah, and every one of those
until somebody comes
roads
and
you
gets
drive
them.
by, on your 28, go this
right
way.
up the mountain.
whoop, there's
I know. There's
people
nothing
living up there, yeah.
And I love it out there. It's beautiful. Are your affairs in order? We have legal. We have legal services to help. It really is. It's a huge relief to do that. As a younger person, you put together a will and a power of attorney, and it's done. You have to do that.
I know, I gotta do that.
Especially if you have children.
Child in a house and
Yep,
whatever.
exactly. When you have property. Do you own property? If you end up in the nursing home and you can't leave, they're going to look back 5 years. If it's something you did not anticipate, they're going to look back 5 years, and they're going to take whatever they can for Medicaid. They're going to make you liquidate everything. I'm really simplifying this, but it's true.
Yeah.
They do a 5-year look back now. And let's see. Do you visit your provider regularly? So do you go to the doctor regularly? Do you get your medications? One of the other things in the things to watch out for at home is if you're on a lot of medications that make you sleepy or drowsy or opiates or anything like that, even if they're prescribed, you can fall. It makes you dizzy. You can't get out of bed. You're dizzy or whatever. So that's one of the other things to watch out for. Do you have connectivity? I know there's a lot of senior folks who don't trust or don't want to deal with the internet or whatever, but it can help you. You can order things to come to your house. You can order groceries. You can have things delivered so you don't have to worry about the transportation system so much. We can help with that. We do have programs to help. So those are some of the things that you can sort of think about, especially as a younger person like me, well, relatively younger, to say now's the time to sell my house and to find something that I can age well in. It may turn out that I break something and I can, I end up in a nursing home or assisted living or whatever. I'll form groups there.
It's hard and maybe difficult for some people, myself, to think about these decisions. It's
yes,
end of life type things and making plans, being proactive. I'm gonna live forever.
I'll be fine.
Yeah,
no,
but
you won't.
You really
none of us make it out alive.
No, you really gotta.
No, none of us do.
Not yet. We haven't. No. Nobody has.
But
yet.
it's hard. It's a lump. You gotta.
Yeah, swallow and move
put on your
forward.
big boy pants and make these decisions because someday it's gonna be too late.
And I don't mean to bring down the tone or whatever, but a lot of people have not made those decisions and have not thought about that.
Proactive.
And what happens is that something then happens to them, and a whole bunch of other people have to clean it up. Mm-hmm. Or a whole bunch of other people not to have to get involved and try to do things retroactively when so much can be done ahead of time. On June 9th, I think it's a Thursday, we're having an elder empowerment forum, and we have it every year with DSS, and we did it virtually last year. We're doing it virtually this year, and we're pulling from a bunch of different things. We're going to explain Medicare and Medicaid. We're going to have a company come in and talk about financial preparation. What are the things you can think about that are relatively simple to prepare for stuff like this? And I think I'm gonna talk about this stuff, but in more detail. How are you gonna prepare for your own aging? Yeah. And you don't have to be 85 to listen to this. You can be my age. You can be younger and start thinking, well, I know I'm gonna stay here forever. I love the Hudson Valley. I love Kingston. And what am I gonna do to prepare myself to age here?
Yes, you're absolutely right. And Cameron hit the nail on the head. We're young, relatively younger, and so we're not thinking about it at this point, but it's the time to do it. And if you have children and you have that you really don't want to have to worry about you someday, and if you've put everything in motion, then they can be like
it's a huge relief for them.
But even planning for knowing you have to renovate my bathroom in 10 years, and I'm
do it now.
Start saving or at least make plans for it. Figure out what you want to do. Have a plan. Put a little squirrel money away type thing.
I have friends
being proactive.
Right,
man,
exactly.
Really
I have friends who have a house. I think there's just 2 steps to go in, and they could live on their whole floor. The laundry's downstairs, but you know what? They could move it up and put it someplace in like a double, whatever. But they have a full bath. They have a whole room that they could convert into a bedroom and other space. So that to me is livable. I have other friends who are building an addition onto their daughter's house. So thank God, that's a really smart idea. The daughter can watch over, as they age. Everything's on one floor. They have grandchildren. They have a whole family unit to support them. I have another friend who moved up to Utica near her sisters. Even if it's not completely accessible, are you by yourself in the middle of nowhere, or are you around somebody that can help you? Because that's a big problem in our office.
Just quickly, that plays in quickly with the accessory dwelling they're trying to get past. Like people can convert their garage or whatever.
What do you mean?
Allowing, if you have a 2-car garage in your backyard, now the zoning prohibits that being used. They'll allow it to be converted to an apartment or something.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
And
that's really cool.
So the city of Kingston is going through accessory dwellings, like side houses.
So allowing you to do something like that?
Yes.
So what do you do with your house? Rent it out?
Or fix up. Your mother-in-law can renovate the garage to a mother-daughter apartment or something like that.
Yeah, perfect.
An option, whatever.
An option.
I didn't want to take into your time.
No, that's all right.
1 minute. Oh
my God. And another thing that they've kind of come up with are these granny pods. They look like they're very cute, little trailers in your backyard where
tiny houses or whatever, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You don't own it. It goes on your property, and your relative who's aging gets in there and has a safe place, right? I mean, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I think people are coming up with things, but I can't tell you how many children are calling our office and bringing up these issues. Mom doesn't want to leave. They're too stubborn. Mom's going to die on the floor if she does. I mean, I'm like right out there. It's like, this is not safe.
Yeah.
And, you have to think about how you're going to deal with this. That's...
Yeah. Well, all right. Sue, thank you. We got to go.
Much,
Listeners,
Sue.
thank you.
Yes, have a terrific Tuesday.
All right, everybody. Take care. Dan, take it away.
Thank you, Sue Copenhagen. And that is the Office for the Aging. And thank you so much for such enlightening information. And you are with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. It's Tuesday, April 12th, and 49 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. Sorry to tell you that the temperature dropped a little bit over the course of the last 2 hours. This last portion of Kingston Community Radio was brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and our community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Thank you for sharing the morning with us and participating in Kingston Community Radio, KCR AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and our live streaming on mykcr.org. Talk radio at its best, inspired discussions of, by, and for the community. And we thank Nina Poshtapak and Cameron Rylance for bringing us a terrific Tuesday. We invite you to keep up with us every weekday. And we're going to have a Super Wednesday tomorrow. And until tomorrow, we wish you every success in growing and developing Kingston and all our neighboring communities. We air 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday. We now return you to Magic 92.5.